Good morning, YouTube. I am on holiday in Mauritius and I'm flying home tomorrow. And I thought, why not make a video talking about my experience of living here for 2 weeks? Honestly, I've never done a video like this before, so hopefully you guys enjoy this. So why should you take a holiday to Mauritius? So first of all, Mauritius is a small island next to Madagascar. It's really lovely. I didn't know even what Mauritius was, where it was, until Safi showed me. It's basically a way more better version than Spain. First of all, when you talk flights, you're looking at about £600 to fly from the UK to Mauritius. If you live in a different country, you'll have to check. We flew out here. I didn't really think too much. First things first, the internet isn't bad. Okay, so the internet's not amazing, but it's not bad. I'm in an Airbnb and the internet is 1,100 download and 100 upload, but other parts of the island, it's just average, maybe 10 download, 10 upload. So first of all, this little island, you go from the south of the island to the north of the island in a space of 2 hours in a taxi. So first things first, there is no Ubers, it's all taxi. Next thing is they use the Mauritian rupees as a currency, and everything is extremely cheap. Unless you're in the touristy parts, and even when you're in the touristy parts, it's still relatively cheap, but not for the locals, all right? We went out of town the other day, drove around and found a Chinese restaurant. Me, Safi, her sister, her brother, and a friend. 5 of us were eating. We had fish soup with these dumplings. We had starters. We had the lovely fried spring rolls. We had calamari. We had our main meal. Our main meals were noodles. We had rice. We had eggs. We had beef. We had chicken. And when it came to dessert, we even had dessert. We had a bottle of Coke. We had other forms of drink. The total cost was... Actually, I want you to think about how much that would cost. Because if it was the UK, it'd be probably around £100, including the service charge. Here it was £23. Can you believe that? So we wasn't in a touristy part. We was on an outside part of the island, and it was fantastic. So first things first, everything is very, very cheap here. And the food, while we're on the topic of food, the food is insane. It's unreal. It's so beautiful. I don't know what to tell you. It's just so much more fresh. The bread here hits differently. I don't know why it does. It just does. Maybe it's in my head. It's a placebo, but the bread is phenomenal. When it comes to fish, it's all fresh. When it comes to meat, it tastes better. Rice tastes amazing. Everything tastes amazing. I don't know why. So food here is phenomenal. It just all hits differently. It's all fresh. There's a lot of people that go fishing. So food here is beautiful. You won't get bored. Now, the whole country, there is a lot of different people from different walks of life, but there is a lot of Indian people here. And I don't want people to get confused and think it's India. It's not. Now, there is a lot of Indian traditional food, but the whole island they do all sorts of food, okay? I presumed I was going to come to this country and be in a curry for breakfast, which wasn't the case. I think I've had 2 curries in the 2 weeks I've been here, and they both tasted amazing. So food here, phenomenal, honest to God. Make sure you research into it when you get here. Eat as much food as you can, different varieties. Fruit is phenomenal. You can walk down the road, and quite literally last night, a mango dropped in front of me off a tree. I opened it up and I started eating it, and it tasted amazing. So quite literally, you can just walk down the road and eat fruit. Now, I want to move on real quick from food to people. When it comes to people, there ain't no homeless people here. There isn't. I saw a woman last night outside the club, and she was asking me for money. But I knew she was only doing that because she's in a touristy spot, and I knew she wasn't really homeless. She was just pretending she was there at 5 in the morning, But that's the only person in 2 weeks I've seen ask me for money. She's outside the club. She knows what she's doing. She's not really homeless. She's just pretending to be homeless because she knows where the spot is. With tourists, someone's going to feel bad and give her a lot of money. She's done this before. Think about it. So I haven't seen any homeless people. I might have seen one, but I don't think he was homeless. He was just sitting on the ground. So even then, there is no homeless people here, which is fantastic. Amazing. Imagine that. No homeless. You drive through the towns. You're in the tourist location and there's no homeless people. Think about that for a second, how amazing that is. Because always when I visit other countries, if it was Denmark, back in England, Manchester, if I go to even America, San Francisco, homeless everywhere. Here, none. And the thing is, right, Well, on the topic of I think to myself, why is there no homeless people? Well, I'll tell you what, because homeless people can quite literally walk down the road, pick some fruit off the trees and go and sell it, because that's what they do. So you'll be driving through the town and all of a sudden you see people with market stalls and they're selling fruit. They sell lychee. Lychee, by the way, is amazing. If you haven't had the lychee, it's these little balls that you just rip open and it tastes amazing. You throw away the pip inside. It's a little ball. Lychee is phenomenal. Make sure you try lychee. You haven't already tried lychee. I don't even know if they do it in England, but I'm already missing my lychee. So people here, amazing, because there's the homeless and everyone's working. Another thing I want to mention is, why is everyone working? Why is everyone, what are the people really like? Why is everyone so happy here? And this is the main point, is the weather is phenomenal. Look at me. Oh my God, look at me. I mean, I've been here for 2 weeks and look at this. Look at my skin. Look how nice. I mean, 2 weeks, you know, beautiful. Every day it's hot. Every day is lovely. Okay, so in the UK, it's very rare you get a hot day. It's hit or miss in the summer holidays if you're going to get a week of sunniness. Here, every day is sunny. I mean, today is December the 8th, 2024, and it is sunny. It's sunny in December. People are out on the beach. It's sunny. Sunday is beach day here. It's beautiful. It's warm. It's hot. It's beautiful. And everyone's smiling because that vitamin D. So sunshine every day. And if it does rain, it's nice. It rains for like 5 to 10 minutes and, you know, it just really freshens the air, but it's still hot. So it's hot, but it's raining. So everyone's in a good mood because the weather's always good. Everyone's always out. Everyone's always sociable. Going back to the people now, is people here are so different from England. People here legit have time for you. They speak to you and have nowhere else to go. They will it could be a Tuesday morning or a Wednesday afternoon or a Saturday night. They will speak to you and stand there and talk to you. And not do that thing like they do in England where they're kind of looking like they've got to go and they slap their knee and they say, right, well, I've got to get going because I've got somewhere to be, but they don't really. They've got nowhere to be because this thing in England, just everybody's in a rush to go somewhere, but realistically, they're going nowhere. And the thing here, it's the opposite. People will make time for you. They will have a good conversation with you. They will tell you history about the island. They'll show an interest. They will guide you around and they'll do this for free. Quite literally, I've had about 10 people help me, walk me around, tell me stuff for free. I met a man yesterday in the supermarket. Admittedly, he knew my old League of Legends streams on Twitch, but he offered to take me to town and Safi for absolutely free. He did that. He then actually wanted to go on a night out and show me around the clubs. He did that. And then I met his cousin while I was out having coffee. Quite literally yesterday, I met his cousin. He doesn't know who I am, which is great. Next thing you know it, the cousin's with me. The other guy's gone away, and I'm spending time with the cousin, walking around the stores, shopping with the cousin. And I bought him a drink in a gesture of being nice, and then he gave us a lift back home. Who does that in England? Who would do that in England? You wouldn't just meet a stranger, and next thing you know it, you're having a coffee with him, walking around with him, shopping with him, and he's giving you lifts everywhere. It's not doable. But here on this island, they do that. It's quite literally amazing. So people here are phenomenal. They're amazing. All right? As for activities on the island, we've done everything. I mean, the beaches are beautiful. You eating out, street food. You quite literally do anything. You go down, you can catch, you can go. We went on a speedboat tour to a waterfall. The speedboat took us to another island outside of the main island, and we got wined and dined. They brought us lobster, they brought us shrimp. You know, they made jokes. They served us rum, alcohol. All of this about 1,000 rupees for 2 people. It was 5,000 rupees per person. It's nothing. Google. Go onto Google and translate and convert that money. It's nothing. You know, maybe 70 quid per person. You are taken on a speedboat all day to go look at the island, to get food, wined and dined on an island by servants. And it's all inclusive. Imagine if England had something like this. We don't. And if we did, it'd be so expensive. So there's so much to do here. Mainly it's eating, relaxing, sunbathing, history of the island, good conversation, partying. But what more do you need in life? You know? As for work here, working here there's a lot of people that are taxis. And I do want to get into the negativity of the island. So let's start with the negativity. So there is a lot of people a lot of drivers here. A lot of people drive. I think a lot of people tier a taxi. Or a lot of people are selling stuff in the supermarkets or their stores or on the street. And the first negative thing I want to say about this island, and it's not such a bad thing, is that there's a lot of dogs walking around that aren't owned by people, which really tripped me out when I first got here. Quite literally, be walking down a road and there's the dog walking with you. Like, there's a lot of dogs, no collars, they look a bit scruffy, but they all look well fed. They get fed by the people around them. But it's just a bit of a weird thing that there's a lot of homeless dogs. But then again, they look great anyway. They don't look like they're starving. So there's just a lot of dogs walking around. One thing to add. Another amazing thing to add while talking about animals is there's a lot of crazy insects and bugs you see. So one thing that does annoy me about the island, the worst thing, no doubt about, is the mosquitoes. So I don't know where they come from, but I'm getting bitten maybe at night time, and I end up itching my body. I've been bitten like 8 times, and next thing you know it, I'm itching myself, and I've been bitten, but I haven't realized it because they numb your skin when they bite you. So they get you either at night time or during the day, but you don't feel them land on you, and you don't feel them cut into you. But when they leave, it starts to irritate. So one bad thing is, okay, there's a few mosquitoes. It's going to come with the weather, right? On top of that, you've got these weird geckos or lizards that walk around. There's quite literally one in this room that's been with me like the whole 2 weeks, a little orange one. I don't think he's poisonous. He's a cute little thing. I made a TikTok about him. And it's just one thing to adjust yourself to, that there are some weird animals out here, some insects, some bugs and lizards and whatnot, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. Depends how grossed out you get. So another thing to add is that when it comes to animals and birds, there's these birds in this country that have these mohawks. And I made a TikTok about it and it got 100,000 views. 100,000 views. 100K. I just couldn't believe that the birds here have like mohawks. It's quite literally amazing. And the birds here are weird because they build all these nests. And they're weird because I'm not used to it. They build these nests that are like balls. And in the UK, they don't do that. They do flat nests. But here, they do like circle nests. Really weird. They all look different. They've got different beaks. It's just something you've got to adjust to. But it's kind of cool. It's really cool if you're interested in wildlife. So there's another plus, and another plus about things that you'll get gassed about. So animals here are amazing. Weather's amazing. People are amazing. Now, I have been told by a lot of people that if you come here from another country, and you can somehow work online, or you have a pension, and you make more than £500 a month, you're going to be amazing. You're going to be solid. £500 a month will get you everything. You'll live absolutely great here, really great. All right, it's probably the equivalent of being on over 50 grand or 40 grand in the UK. But if you're making less than that, which the locals do, is the people that live here make on average €450 a month. That's the average wage. Full-time work. €450 a month. I mean, quite literally, that is like €12 a day they work for, which is really crazy to think. So everything does adjust. But if you're a tourist, and I'm hoping a lot of you guys are, they're going to visit this country, you'll be rich. You come over here with £1,000, maybe £2,000. You're going to be great for a week or two if you just be chill. You can still do everything, quite honestly. So Mauritian rupees is what they use. But there is actually something else I want to add. Is because they're low waged here, I don't think the common sense factor is really good. I also want to mention that when it comes to religion, is that this is mainly a country that isn't majority Muslim. Okay, there are Muslims on this country, but not the majority. The majority is that Hindu. That's the one, Hindu. Then it's Christian. And then it's Muslim. In that order, there's a lot of Hindus, and I love Hindus. By the way, they're peaceful. They follow Ganesh. They're great. I love it. They're all. It's beautiful. I love the whole Ganesh, and they have all these posters around, all these beautiful temples. It's just so much. It's so much. I'm so bored of living in England, and there's Muslim everywhere, and it's the same. It's the same. Now I'm seeing other religions, and it's just so different, and it's great. I absolutely love it. So. One thing I want to mention is that people are, because of low wage or because it's a small island, they're, in my opinion, most people come across as uneducated. That's how it is. Uneducated, not so smart, not a lot of common sense. And we had that thing that happened when it came to the beach, the CPR, where a man died in front of me. Someone drowned in the water and no one knew how to give him CPR. Hell, I didn't even know how to do CPR. Since then, I've watched a lot of videos on it, and I've spoke to ChatGPT, and they give me a run through. When I get back to England, I'm going to do a course on it. But a lot of people here, 60 people surrounded this man, didn't give him any space. You've got to give at least 3 meters apart, and no one knew how to do CPR. This man died in front of everyone. You would have thought that people 60 people would have known how to do it correctly, but no one did. So, and I've asked, there was quite literally a woman on the boat trip with us, taking photographs of us. I paid her 2,000 rupees for like 100 photos, and she's been doing her job for 20 years. On a boat, on the sea all day, going to beaches all day, to islands, and she didn't know how to give CPR. She doesn't know how to do CPR in 20 years of her work. Excuse me? Like, shouldn't that be like mandatory if you're going to work on the sea? Right? So people here aren't the best when it comes to common sense and education. There was no lifeguard on the beach, on a tourist beach. No lifeguard. And in the papers, they said it was Grand Bay that the man drowned out, which he didn't. He drowned in Perry Bear, but Perry Bear is a tourist attraction, and the papers didn't want to say he drowned in Perry Bear because it would make them look really bad. Can you believe the corruption? But then again, I'm not surprised. You know, who's going to want to go to the beach if a man died right there? It's going to be bad vibes, right? So they have to lie and say it's from a different beach down the road. So there's that. Now, I've got a coffee here, so I'm going to pause the recording and I'm going to continue talking in about 10 seconds. Right, so we're back and that coffee tastes amazing. And let me just say, on the topic of stupidity, is that the drivers here, well, I'm going to be honest, they suck. Okay, so everyone drives on the left side of the road where the steering wheel's on the right side, just like England. Now, I presumed there was only like 4 or 5 countries in the world that drive on the left with the steering wheel being on the right. Turns out, I asked ChatGPT, and about 68 countries in the world drive on the left, the steering wheel on the right. And the other 160 countries drive on the right, the steering wheel on the left. Go figure. So when I came here, I was like, wow, it's like England. And then I watched people driving and people were stupid. People overtake on the solid line, which you can't do. People park up on double yellow lines, which you can't do. People quite literally don't know how to overtake properly. They undercut on a motorbike, on bicycles. Most cars here look like they need a goddamn MOT because it looks like they're falling apart. And, you know, you got really nice cars here, but then you got really banged up cars. It doesn't really make sense. You got cars from like the 90s that are on its last legs. And then the people driving here are lunatics. There are lunatics driving, especially in the city. So the driving needs to be better here. And quite literally, I'm behind a man on a motorbike. Wasn't really a motorbike, it's more of a motorcycle. And I'm watching him overtake as those cars coming. And then a car on the other side was overtaking. And they both met in the middle and the bike smashed into him. And I'm quite literally there, behind. So I told the driver, it was funny enough, it's Safi's uncle. I told him to stop. I jump out the car. I run up to the man. His shoe's flown off, he's broke his leg and he's bleeding out. His cup, he's in a little ball, like shaking. Now, I didn't know what to do in this situation, so I asked ChatGPT when I got home that night, because I didn't have Wi-Fi this whole time. I haven't had 4G, I've been using the Wi-Fi. I asked ChatGPT, what do you do in that situation? Best thing to do in that situation for all the boys out there that don't know is you don't do nothing. You don't touch the body and you sit with the person and you reassure them that help is coming. You get someone to call the ambulance and you reassure them help is coming. Now, another thing I want to mention is talking about bad things is that the locals have told me that the police here and the ambulance here, they take a lot of time to respond. For example, when the man was drowning and someone called the ambulance, it took them half an hour to get here. And that was the private ambulance. And then another half an hour went by. Then the government ambulance came. So about an hour. But to be honest with you, in the UK, the waiting time for an ambulance is about 4 hours. So is it as better or worse than the UK? You decide. So, I do love this country and there's so much good here, but please be careful if you're going to drive here and rent a car, because people drive like lunatics. Okay. And on top of that, just make sure if you are going to come to this country, make sure you know how to do CPR, because the locals will look at you and they'll expect you to do it because they don't know any better. All right then. Food's amazing. Everything is cheap. The weather's insane. There's so much to do. People are lovely. The wildlife is amazing. You can swim everywhere, you can sunbathe everywhere, no one's weird, I don't really see any crime, there's no homeless. Oh, we must talk about the drug situation here. The police are very odd here, because if you're caught with marijuana on you, quite literally, I have a man called Kevin who I met on an island, who was caught with 1 ounce of marijuana, which is not a lot, by the way, for the people that don't smoke. 1 ounce of marijuana. Guess what he got? 3 months in prison for carrying 1 ounce of marijuana on him. So, for some reason, and I don't know why, and this isn't a one-off, the police and the government here are so anti-marijuana, they treat it like it's heroin. I don't know why, they just do. So, if you're caught smoking that here, you're going to get in trouble. No doubt about it. If you're carrying it, just as worse. Someone out there got caught with a lot of it and he got like 25 years in prison for marijuana, which is insane. Cocaine, I'm not entirely sure how that ends up. But also, a lot of people out here, they do tend to drink and drive. So be careful. And the police don't really care about that. They more care about the people carrying marijuana, from what I've experienced. So, just a little weird thing. Don't come expecting to smoke, because you're not going to, because you'll probably get thrown up in prison. Alright? Luckily for me, I don't really smoke marijuana, so it doesn't really affect me. But then again, why is it they're so anti-marijuana? Is it because maybe marijuana is the gateway drug? Gateway drug to leading into other drugs? There is no homeless people here, guys. Maybe they're onto something. Maybe England should learn from this and just ban marijuana as well, because look, we have a problem in England with the homeless people. So maybe we can learn from Mauritius. So overall, this holiday, flights are pretty cheap. £600 to travel for 12 hours. You're going to get fed on the plane. They're going to give you 2 meals. You're going to sleep, watch movies. You're going to sit back. The worst thing that happened was the first thing I got when I sat on that flight from Gatwick to Mauritius was the first they served us was a damn curry. And that doesn't sound, you might think, well, what's wrong with that? Well, there's nothing wrong with it. Until everyone fell asleep about an hour later, and your body relaxes, and there's about 2 men in front of me and behind me that are old, and they're farting like there's no tomorrow. So, not a good idea, Air Mauritius, to serve people curry as a damn meal, in my opinion, because everyone around me was farting. So, what did I do? Well, I joined in. I got to fight fire with fire, don't I? So, flight's amazing. It was really comfortable. Got off the plane, you can't breathe because the air's so thick. Don't worry, though. Everywhere has got air conditioning. For example, let's take a look at the shopping here. I went into one of the main parts, the touristy parts. I bought the shirt. So, to wear to the club last night. I want to look good. I bought this shirt. How much did it cost me? 300 rupees. Now, I want you to go to Google and ask how much 300 rupees is. I'm going to tell you something. It's about £5 for this shirt. Look at me. I mean, if I wore this in England, it looks like I spent, at least £40 on it. So, what can I say? But shopping here, dirt cheap. Weather here, amazing. Food here, beautiful. The fish, every fish you eat is going to be fresh. Watch out for the bones, though, to just still chew slowly. Even if it falls apart in your mouth, still chew slowly. There's so much dessert, so much fruit. The weather's so good, it makes you feel happy. You're going to get a nice suntan. Make sure you put your... I was wearing 20 factor. You're going to need to wear at least 50 factor. You're going to turn out red like me. All right? And my girlfriend, Safi, she's really brown. She looks beautiful. All right? So make sure... you get your 50 factor on if you're white, okay? Or you're going to burn up and it's not great. You're going to start peeling and itching. Weather's amazing, which makes you feel... the weather's so amazing, it's going to make you feel amazing. The people are amazing, it'll make you feel really sociable, okay? Oh, if you want to buy a house out here, oh my goodness. If you want to buy a house out here, $100,000 house, which in England sounds like you'll get nothing. You're a small little flat somewhere up north. Here, $100,000? Oh, big. You're beautiful. $100,000 house will get you something so beautiful with a swimming pool on the front. Look amazing. Anything more than that, you're going to live like a king. It's going to be a villa. So living here seems like the right play. And I feel like a lot of people are leaving England and they're moving to Spain, but no one's talking about Mauritius. Mauritius is way better than Spain. It's on the center of the earth. So it's hitting that sun every day. I think during... May, it's pretty chill, and I think they get like 20 degrees here, which is still pretty nice for England, 20 degrees. Imagine that. It's a really nice day, but here it's considered cold. So anyway, Mauritius, should you visit? Well, if you want a holiday and you can work abroad and you want to relax and you want good food, you want to meet good people, and you just want to smile, have good conversation while seeing all the lovely birds, and you don't really mind bad drivers, then... yeah, I think Mauritius is the play. It's been such an experience. I've loved it so much. It's Safi, my partner's bloodline. Like her father is from here. Her mum lived there for a while. And I'm so glad I came out here. I was really on the fence of it. It's definitely a sunny holiday. There's types of holidays you go to. If you want a sunny holiday like Spain, but better, you come to Mauritius. Trust GrossGore. It's just very unknown. This place is unknown. It's safe. I feel like it's going to boom. I said, Safi, I feel like this country's going to boom at some point. I feel like it's a good time to come here to buy a house and maybe live here and watch the housing of the price of the house go up, because this is such a great place. Invest in Mauritius. They're getting their own independence as well. I keep hearing this thing from all the locals that they're getting a new government. There's going to be a new government coming in 2025. It's going to be a lot better. The wages are going to go up and food prices are going down. You know, I don't know if that's a lie, if the politicians are just lying like they always do, or if there's some truth in this. But come to Mauritius. Take a holiday here. If you want to take a holiday, guys, trust me, just look into it. I want you all to go on Google and look at the beautiful pictures of Mauritius and look into it. If you want to splash out, you're going to have servants all the time. Get a nice villa. I've been in a villa in this Airbnb. It's been beautiful. I've had such great service. Everyone's amazing. Everything's great. What an experience. This holiday, as a sunny holiday, this is definitely, well, it's going to be 9 out of 10 / 10 out of 10. It couldn't get better than this. I can't see having a sunny holiday being better than this. This is it. Mind you, I'm looking forward to going to America in January, but that's not really a sunny holiday. That's more for connecting with people, working and socializing and whatnot. It's a different type of holiday. But guys, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this talk about Mauritius, then leave a comment, leave it a like, and I will see you guys on the next one. I haven't really streamed a lot the past 2 weeks, but I've done some streaming, but not so much. I'll be focused on the holiday and enjoying myself. But when I get back to England, I'll be hitting the streams hard in December. I love you all so much. Have an amazing evening, and definitely look into Mauritius if you want a holiday. Much love. Bye-bye.